Good morning, good afternoon, and good day to all. Welcome to another edition of Homie Picks, Week 14. Fellas, the season's almost over. And so are our picks. How y'all feeling? Lou, you had a good week again. How
Yeah,
y'all
four
feeling?
and one. I think I went. I mean, I'll take it. Hopefully, that translates well for my fantasy team. I got one more game this week. Hopefully, I lock down my playoff spot. Hopefully number one. Let's see. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's been a crazy, crazy couple weeks of football.
Has been.
Ben?
Yeah, can't complain. All good. My team's on the bye, so no, nothing in particular that's I'm gonna be watching this weekend. You know, maybe I'll see the Jets lose. I don't know.
I think we'll all watch the Jet lose again. They're trash. Uh, but a team that isn't trash right now are the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're hosting the Cleveland Browns. Uh, Browns are 6.5 point favorite, 320 money line, and 43.5 over under. Ben, you say you're not interested in watching anything much, but aren't you at least the least bit interested in watching Jameis and what he's going to do this week?
I know what he's gonna do. He's gonna throw it to the wrong team. That's his trademark. That's just what the like. Even that laser didn't help him out. Maybe he's colorblind too. I don't know. Maybe something's wrong with the man. But I mean, like he has his moments. The full Jameis experience, up and down. So but for this game, I'm actually gonna take Cleveland here. I think Cleveland pulls the upset. It'll be a close game. It's a divisional game. Usually Tomlin is not a great home, um, not underdog, but the I'm losing the word right now, but
Favorite?
the favorite, yes. And they don't do well with it. He doesn't cover well as being the favorite at home, and this is a 6.5. I think Cleveland pulls it off. Squeaky win, field goal.
Lou, would the people of Pennsylvania riot if that happens?
Probably. I mean, well, I'm on the more eastern side of Pennsylvania, so not that many Steelers fans. But I'm gonna roll with Let's Ride and Russell Wilson on this. I mean, he threw for over 400 yards last week, and it wasn't even spoken about. Like he's not even mentioned. Um, I think him and George Pickens got something special brewing. Even though George Pickens does make some boneheaded moves, when he's not supposed to. And I agree with Ben. 6.5 is very, very unlike a Mike Tomlinson game. Um, I would take Steelers for the win, but I think the points you would have to give to the 6.5, give it to Cleveland, because they're not going to lose by more than 6.5. It's going to be a close game.
I remember last week when we did Pittsburgh Cincinnati, and I said they make you play their game. Pittsburgh kind of played Cincinnati's kind of game, high scoring, and they gutted out that win. 400 plus yards for Russell. I think he was he the first quarterback? No, second quarterback with over 400 yards. I think then Joe
This
Burrow
year?
had,
Yeah,
yeah.
Joe Burrow had a couple, and
Well,
there was another guy. Yeah, I'm like golf.
so yeah, I think golf. That might have been that game against the Cowboys when
Oh
it was
wait,
like,
Captain Kirk too. He had 500.
oh, that's right. He on Matt Ryan's day.
Yes,
Right
yes.
on Matt Ryan's day.
I was forgetting about that.
Forgot about that. That's hilarious. Um, yeah, I just can't see Cleveland sweeping Pittsburgh. I just can't see it. Um, I know Jameis is good. He's having a hell of a year against the division games. Everybody else, but I just can't see them sweeping. If Pittsburgh, I don't see Pittsburgh scoring like they did last week again. I mean,
Yeah.
the Browns defense isn't the greatest, so it could happen, but I just don't see it happen. I do think Pittsburgh wins also. And I'm actually inclined to think that if you were going to go with the points, I actually would probably go with Pittsburgh to cover, just just to be the person who breaks up monotony. uh, to the next one. those Atlanta Falcons we talked about are going into Minnesota. Minnesota is a 5.5 point favorite, 245 money line, 46.5 over under. Lou, does Captain Kirk get over 500 yards again this time?
Yeah, I don't know what's up with him lately. He's been so inconsistent. Um, I think they had the recipe. Go through Bijan, lead through Bijan, follow the Philly method. You know, use your running back. You have him back there for a reason, and they don't utilize him enough. Um, I'm gonna go with Mini on this because I think Darnold's playing some of the best football I've seen him play in a very, very long time. He's only lost 2 games this year. It's crazy to think he's only lost two, and he doesn't get spoken about more. Another quarterback that's just flying by under the radar. Um, and he's got Justin Jefferson, and so Atlanta shows me they can stop him. I don't see it happening. You got Aaron Jones playing phenomenal, another one running back under the radar. I have to give it to Minnesota at home, just because they're at home and we don't know what Atlanta is right now. Atlanta's fighting for their division, but they're not putting up a good fight. They're just letting games squander away. So I'm gonna roll with Mini on this.
Ben.
Yeah, I have to agree with Lou. I think Minnie wins this one. It's not a good homecoming for Captain Kirk. I'm sorry. It's not gonna be fun for them. The Falcons are just on paper they have good players, but they just don't utilize them, particularly in offense. Like I just it's very underwhelming sometimes. And then on top of that, you just don't know what you're getting with with Kirk right now, just because I think he's still trying to recover from that Achilles. I'm sure he's not 100%, and he's already not mobile, so that just makes it worse. So he's having a difficult time, and the season shows it. And Minnesota's just the better team. They have the better coach. Yeah, I have to roll with Manny here.
Yeah, I don't see him breaking records in his comeback to Minnesota. Um, but sorry, Danny, I'm actually going to go with Atlanta on this one. Um, this is a surprise. Minnesota's been a hot team all year. Minnesota's been a damn good team, and I think they may, as the season's growing on, they're almost at the playoffs. Who knows? I mean, granted, they can't afford to take their foot off the throttle. I mean, you're in a very stacked division when it comes to Packers and Lions, who just had a great slugfest on Thursday. Um, but they're going to be in the playoffs regardless. That's just what that is. They're going to be in the playoffs regardless. But I think uh, Atlanta, as up and down of a team as they have been, um, I think they squeak out a win. I think Kurt spoils the home crowd, uh, kind of showing a little bit of what you're missing. Although you're having a great year with Darno, and Justin JJ, but I think Atlanta just squeaks this one out. Yes, they're very consistent. Yes, they're very topsy-turvy, but they need this win more than Minnesota does at this point, and you can kind of see it happening. So, one thing I couldn't see happening was Arizona playing as good as they have been, especially during double XP weekend, which is crazy. So Kyler has found the key. It took him only a few years to realize the key, to play your actual game on Sunday, and then play the other game after that. So he's finally coming along with that, with the thought and the method. But you got Seattle at Arizona. Zona is a 2.5 point favorite, 142. Money line is in 44.5 over under. Um, Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to be a star. I know I said something about him not doing as great as he could be, and he had a good one last week. Kyler's still Kyler, and that it makes me struggle to pick them. But at the same time, Gino hasn't been looking so hot either in Seattle. Although the offense is, pretty, I mean, on paper, Kenny Walker, Metcalf, these dudes are stars. Um, and Zona's defense is what's been keeping them in these games. Um, when Kyler has a deficient moment. Um, at home, tight game. Uh, I'm actually gonna go with Arizona. I'm gonna roll with the Cards this one. I think Seattle. Uh, they just haven't impressed me over the past couple of weeks, and who knows? Maybe now they do something about that this week. But I just think Arizona has been playing really good, playing very consistent for the most part. Kyler needs to be better protecting the ball. Not trying to see over like 10-foot tall people. But it's kind of hard for his attributes. But yeah, I just think Marvin Harrison's going to have a hell of a game. Uh, Division game at that too. So I just think Arizona's going to pull this one out. Ben,
Yeah, I mean, should be a fun game. I believe they're playing for the #1 spot in their division, right? So
yes, they are.
there's a lot in, for this one, a lot of pressure on Zona there because they were playing well. I think they just lost the last two, right? But I have to agree with you. I think Zona pulls it out. I still the Seahawks, I just don't trust them. I can't trust them. There's just something about them that just it doesn't give me the confidence with them. Yeah, sometimes they can put up points, sometimes they don't. Sometimes their defense plays, sometimes it doesn't. It's just they're a very odd team to figure out. I mean, they could easily pull this win off, but I just don't see it. I think Zona, like you said, to mention the defense has been playing much better than most people thought it was gonna be. And if you don't put everything on Kyler and he has to bail everybody out, they can win this. But if they're throw everything on Kyler and he has to bail them out of plays and whatnot, he won't be able to do it, for the full game. His limitations. He gets tired. He can only run so much. You know what I'm saying? So if his weapons help him out this week, if they get the run game going, I really see Zona winning this one. They could probably blow them out if they really tried. Like if they were full on all levels of the game on, I think Zona's the better team right now, but it'll be close. It's division game, so probably by a field goal, but Zona wins.
Lou, is there like a med pack or a health pack that Kyler can take from Call of Duty?
I don't know. But listen, first of all, shout out to the two former Jets on the Seahawks that went crazy last week. Gino with the win and big old sexy Leonard Williams with a 92-yard pick six. Crazy. Watch that big man truck down the field. It was crazy funny. Um, I'm rolling with Seattle on the sure strength that Seattle's 4-1 on the road. They are better on the road than they are at home. And this is a division game. I think this is going to be a separation game for them because if they win this one, they get a leg up on Arizona, who's chasing the tail by one game, and then they get like a stranglehold on the division with the Niners and Rams going at it next week. So I'm rocking with Seattle. I think they come back. Um, Going to Arizona, it's going to be a heavy game of Geno Smith with Kenneth Walker banged up a little bit. Like I said, Seattle's better on the road, 4-1 on the road. Geno's going to air this one out over 300 yards. I'm going with Seattle.
Okay, okay. Uh, Speaking of the Rams, I know they have a tough one next week, but they have a hell of a game this week, though.
Yeah.
Buffalo, LA Rams. Buffalo, of course, is the favorite, but it's not as big as a favorite as one may think. 3.5 is Buffalo, 190 money line, 48.5. Sorry, 49.5 over under. Uh, mm, I I'm not even gonna lie to myself. Buffalo's winning this game. Um, it doesn't matter Kendrick Lamar can release a concert. He can do the halftime at this game and ride out for LA. But the Rams ain't gonna do it though. It may I don't even know. 3.5 is generous, super generous. Buffalo can definitely they can definitely beat them by 2 touchdowns. But yeah, I'm gonna go Buffalo on this one. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about this one. For me, I just don't think Buffalo drops the ball on this one. They're having a really good season. When they needed to step up, they have. Yeah, they've had a couple letdown games, but Buffalo is. I mean, really, for Buffalo, there's such a runaway. There's such a runaway in their own division that yeah, they can even afford to drop this one because the Rams probably needed more. But I just think Buffalo's trying to play for position, when it comes to playoff position, playoff standings. So yeah, I just think Buffalo just steamrolls in LA. Lou.
I'm calling this upset special. Buffalo going to the West Coast, coming off a clinch, coming off celebrating engagements and division clinches and all that jazz, and they dropped the ball this game. Matt Ryan is not Matt, excuse me, Matthew
Stafford.
Stafford isn't someone to be trifled with yet. I think he's getting healthy. Receivers back. Puka Nacua is showing a glimpse. Cooper Kupp is still there, and Kieran Williams is there as well. I think they get punched in the mouth in Buffalo, playing on the West Coast. I'm taking the Rams plus the 3.5.
Oh, didn't see that one coming. Um, yeah, no, I do agree with you what you said. The Rams, they gotten better, at least as healthier as they gotten, but they still not there. They still have a lot of rookies playing. I'm gonna go with the Bills on this one. I feel like this Bills team is more balanced. They actually run the ball. They're not so Josh Allen dependent. I think they'll probably start slow because you're saying they were going over to the West Coast, and probably LA gets a lead by the half. But I think the second half is really what's going to undo the Rams because I think the Bills was just going to run the ball and just kill that line because they really can't protect against the run well. So that's one of your strengths. Just go for it, and then you add Josh running on that. On top of that, I think it's gonna give them a little bit of problems. Now offensively they can go tit for tat. I mean, because like you said, Stafford is good and he's getting his weapons back. So I think it will be close, but I think Buffalo pulls away with the win.
It'll be a tough one, but at least the weather's gonna be nice in LA. So at least Buffalo can warm up a little bit. Speaking of which, since we are on that coast, I know the Niners, they're playing at home and in that region of San Francisco, Eureka, California, northern California, they had a 7.0 earthquake. So, thoughts and prayers to any, if any and all who were affected by that. We are thinking about y'all. We hope there's relief. We hope, all is well, for the most part, for people out there. Because I remember we had a 4.0
Yeah.
and we was like, what was that? But a 7 is crazy. It's getting a little crazy and stuff.
Yeah,
And I remember back in the 90s when it felt like that fault line was the San Andreas fault. So LA was getting rocked with earthquakes, and you haven't heard anything about earthquakes in a minute. But I say that's 7.0 is pretty strong. Was adding like tsunami warnings and stuff like that. So we just hope and prayers to anybody out there affected and such. And they also going to have I don't know if San Francisco's going to win that game against Chicago, but that's beside the point.
Man, if they can't beat Chicago,
bro, they're
just Just call it. Just sit everybody. Sit everybody. Let the rookie
Everybody go to
play.
Cabo. Everybody go to Cabo.
They already got their tickets booked out, bro. But anyway, um, so we go from one LA team to the other LA team. Except they're going to be playing some cold weather in Kansas City. The Chargers, Chiefs. Chiefs are a 3.5-point favorite, 210 money line, 42.5 over under. Ben, how you see it, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is gonna be a fun game actually. I believe KC already beat them the first game. This one's the Arrowhead. I mean, the Chiefs, what are they playing for right now? Just trying to get the best record, but they already lost to the Bills, so they probably won't get that unless the Bills lose, let's say, 2 more games.
Well, the Bills lost 2 already, so they have it.
Yeah. So for me, I'm picking KC, man. That's my Super Bowl pick. I still feel like they're gonna do it. They just seem to find a way to win. Right now, I think the Chargers are a little banged up. I believe they lost McConkey is hurt, so he might not play. That's one of their receivers. So they'll be just down to the other homeboy, I forget his name, Quentin, whatever.
Aaron Williams, yeah.
So I just don't trust them defensively. I mean offensively. And I believe Dobbs is also hurt. So they're down their running back. I just don't, even though the Chiefs are not pouring it on and they're not, scaring anybody with points, but they can still score enough. They can still score enough, and I just feel like the Chargers are gonna have a hard time trying to get points. Their defense is gonna keep it close for most of the game, but after a while, I think just KC pulls away. I just feel like the Chargers are just too banged up right now for this game.
Yeah, if the Chargers are a little bit healthier, I would have picked them here. It would have been an upset special for me, but J.K. Dobbins is done for the year. Gus Edwards is up there now at the RB1. Conkley's, like Ben said, banged up a little bit, and it's KC. Like, at any given point, they have like 15 guys on the field. And you count all the refs. So KC Sunday night game. They're at home. They'll make it interesting. They'll win by a field goal with like negative 2.5 seconds left. Um, you know, it, Mahomes does. Is it creepy that Mahomes never looks nervous? Like, he's read the script, so he knows what's coming. So it's the weirdest thing watching them play. Yeah, KC, they're the NFL darling right now. I think we'll have more shots of Taylor Swift than points difference in this game. We'll probably have like 10 Taylor Swift's camera pans, and like the game will end by 3 points. So yeah, KC at home. The story continues until someone knocks them off their horse.
I mean, Lou, even in your bets, your parlay bets, tush pushes, telecams and stuff. You've been spot on. So I mean, hey, I should have bet against you. But how do the Chiefs keep winning these games? I just want to know. Like, the Raiders had them. I mean, every team they played had them. The Chiefs could easily be 0-13 as much they can be what they are right now. Like, I just don't get the Chiefs, like, how they keep winning these games like this. What was that for Breaking Bad? Like, you can't stop, you can't keep getting away with this. Like, how do y'all keep getting away with this? But I remember when the Chargers went against the Ravens on Monday night, and there was something about J.K. Dobbins, was gonna show the Ravens why they let go of him, and he had a couple good runs, stuff like that. But this is why we got rid of J.K. Dobbins. I pray for the kid. I truly do, and I hope his next career, whatever that may be, is better than his current career right now, because he can't stay healthy. I mean, I hope he got a really good degree at Ohio State. I hope he is investing and figuring things out at all these times that he's been on IR. because he's not a bad kid. He's a good kid, but this game ain't just for him. The game ain't for him. It's just what it is. Um, and I'm sad to say that. But Gus is there. I've seen that story before when JK went down and Gus is right there and he picked up the pieces. So I do think the Chargers just going to run the Ravens playbook essentially. But I'm actually going to go with the upset special. The Chiefs they just got to lose a game. So I'm going to say they lose this one on Sunday night. Chargers somehow, some way pull this one out. Jim Harbaugh is going to do what his brother couldn't do in the playoffs and actually beat the Chiefs. And this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to end this one out. So, yeah, Chargers for the win. I book it.
Book it.
Book it.
I want to see that slip then.
So, and you know what? I should actually start posting my slips. Yeah, so I don't know. I pray on God that one happens. Like I was so sick of the Chiefs winning these games. They suck. I don't know how the hell they keep winning.
I mean,
Anyway,
I at one point I did think this was gonna be the game that the Chiefs lost, but since they already lost one, it kind of just it threw it all off for me. So I'm trying to find the other spot. I think they're probably gonna lose to the Broncos. That would be their second loss,
they
and I think
almost lost to
that's
the Broncos first time.
exactly exactly that's
Keep
why
winning.
that's why I think they're the ones that might be able to do it again, or at least get that second loss. But it's tough, man. I must say they must have they have the right balance right now. A little bit of luck and skills right now are working for them. I mean, this is what the Patriots did when their dynasty is like. How can these guys just keep on winning by a freaking field goal or this and that and the other? Same thing. People just get tired of these dynasties because it's not their team.
Right.
Fair. That's very fair because the Patriots were definitely on some how the hell they keep winning these games also, I think. So I
Oh
mean we
man.
are seeing history repeat itself. And it's very recent history that we've seen repeat itself. So, it hasn't been decades and generations in between, literally just one right by the other. So but this is why we play the games. This is why we bet on the games. Speaking of that, like I said, click the link below. $50 FanDuel and bet credits. If you're for first-time users only, once you deposit, you get $50 in FanDuel bets. As well, join a Discord. We have fun in that as well. I look forward to seeing the Bears beat the Niners.
Now I might actually watch that one.
I do not look forward to Monday night's game with the Bengals and the Cowboys.
Yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be,
I, that's gonna be a hard watch.
that's gonna be brutal. And watch the Cowboys still win that game somehow.
I don't think so, man. Since he's gonna probably like drop 50 on them, and everybody's gonna be like, yeah, since he's back, and then they lose them the
Right.
following week.
So I just don't get it, man. But hey, like, share, subscribe. Tell us we're right, tell us we're wrong. We'll come back at y'all for week 15. President 2021, Paul, birthday was this week, so happy birthday. We salute. Thank you for the
Sagittarius.
and we'll holler at y'all on the next one.
Peace.